basically crossing just over the kind of the Bucks Bridge Road area and then moving on off towards the north and the east. Let's try to time out that area, give you a sense of some of the other areas that may be in line to deal with where that rotation is showing up the best right now. Heading off again to the north and the east, you got Carmich there at about 111. Hathorne there at 117, and Society Hill at 121. If you're in any of these areas, you want to making sure you're getting into your safe zone. Where is that lowest floor, sturdy structure, away from windows, as much between you and the outside as possible is what you want to be doing at this point. So again, this area of rotation showing up right now, just kind of north of the Bucks Bridge Road area and tracking its way north and east, heads up around Dan Holmes Road as well as Pine Grove Road Church. These are some of the streets here that are in line to deal with this tornado here that is moving on off towards the north and the east right now. So again, a very dangerous situation here, tornado emergency for us right now here in Mississippi as this thing tracks off towards the north and the east. We're just looking at here at the debris tracker. So the radar is able to sort of pick out areas where debris is in the air essentially, and it's right there. So again, moving not too far from the James Ratcliffe Road region and pushing on off towards the north and the east, heads up around Morgantown Road, Ranch Road down the line as well as we time out that area, which will eventually try to make its way towards the 587 corridor. We back it up just a bit to show you where that area came from. And again, just north and west of Tylertown, essentially. There you can see it right around 48, then tracking north and east from there. Again, that's the debris signature, moving north and east and continuing to do so right now with this extremely dangerous tornado warned storm. A tornado emergency now is in effect here for us west of Columbia, with this area right there where you can see the debris tracker and debris signature showing up at this point. So we've watched this thing continue to rotate back towards the south here into Louisiana around the Kentwood area. There was structural damage showing up there. And now newly reported there around Tylertown, damage to a trailer park. And again, likely because of this tornadic storm, which has continued to track towards the north and the east. Right now, it's north of Tylertown, pushing north and east from there. Should move north of Columbia. There's Columbia right now, pushing north of Columbia at this point with that extremely dangerous, again, tornadic storm. Again, once we get in a little bit more, still showing the sides rotation. I'm not sure if there's a new scan right now. They're right there, still holding pretty tight now. Again, just north of Buck Bridge Road, moving north and east. And again, if you're in and around Bassfield, the Prentice area, this warning is in effect here for us until 1:45. So it's right in this zone. We've got the warning, but we've got it extending north and eastbound, continuing that tornado emergency right now until 1:45. Again, this is not one of those situations where it's like, is it not? No, this has been observed. So please get into your safe zone immediately. This is extremely dangerous right now. We're looking in the state of Mississippi here. Can we back this out just a little bit, Matt, just to give us our sort of bearings on where we are in Mississippi with this particular storm that's moving on through. There's Interstate 59 right there. You got Macomb up towards Brookhaven along 55. Again, this is kind of the southern portions of Mississippi. There's the state line with Louisiana there, and the tornado is just off towards the north and east there. Rotation still showing up, and again, we still have this tornado emergency in effect for this particular storm, moving north and eastbound. Hattiesburg off towards the east, should track to your north and west. We get a very dangerous storm that continues right now in and around Walthall County until 1:30. That's for this smaller box, and then the outside box, which extends that warning just on off towards the north and east for Jefferson, Davis, Lawrence, as well as Marion counties. Please seek shelter right now. This is just one of many warnings that we do have in place right now, Felicia. A very busy morning, and this afternoon and evening, continuing to stay busy.
That's right, Alex. It is not going to be slowing down. If anything, it's going to be picking up. That's why we have that particularly dangerous situation, or that PDS tornado watch in place. The National Weather Service, when we're talking about issuing these tornado warnings, they don't do that lightly. When they are issuing these tornado emergencies or tornado warnings, they are seeing key information there that that you need to take cover, that this is a storm that could cause damage, and we're already seeing that. So a wider view of the radar shows what's happening. You can see this line of storms that's moving in, and we're far from done. I mean, we've got that first line of storms that's the leading edge there through Mississippi, but you've got more storms behind that. Of course, we could see the atmosphere trying to stabilize a little bit, but I mean, this first line is packing such a punch. Let's take a look at some of our active warnings that we have in place. All the different polygons are a different type of warning. So the red, tornado warnings, the purple that you're seeing here is our tornado emergency, the yellow, severe thunderstorm warnings, which in their own right are packing a punch with this setup that we have. Now, what I want you to see and what you're looking at here is the tornado parameter. And what that is basically our measure of what the atmosphere has to work with in order of creating tornadoes. And where you're seeing those dark reds, that is getting up into your favorable conditions for tornadoes. And then, of course, you can see the radar and those storms getting ready to move into that environment that is very favorable for tornadoes. So let's take another look at our tornado emergency here. Again, this is an observed storm. This storm has a history of doing damage already. When you're talking about a tornado emergency, that means that the National Weather Service has seen that this is observed. The tornado is on the ground. We're seeing all indications that there is damage being done on the ground from this particular storm. So this is for Jefferson Davis County, Lawrence County as well. If you are here, you need to make sure that you are in your safe spot already. For the cities of Bassfield and Prentice, if you can hear me talking and you're in Bassfield or Prentice, please be in your safe spot right now. These storms are rushing off to the northeast around 50 miles per hour. So this is going to be on you very quickly as soon as you find yourself in the warning. Now, I will say the trend recently has been that the National Weather Service is issuing these tornado warnings a bit in advance, so it can give you a little bit more time to get all of your things and get in your safe spot. If you're headed to your safe spot right now, make sure you have your shoes, your flashlight, all of that, and of course all of the family. We are seeing a strong indication of rotation. So what you're looking at right now is the velocity radar. We use this as meteorologists to pick up where we're seeing rotation within a storm. Now, you could see rotation and it could mean that you just have, a funnel cloud or a storm that's beginning to rotate. But with this particular storm, it is a good indication of very strong rotation. This is a dangerous tornado that has been observed. You can see here as we're taking a closer look at some of the local roads. This is near Ranch Road with that kind of pass of the radar. River Bend Road, this is going to pass very close to you. This is moving off to the northeast. So if you know any of those roads, Holly Springs Road, this is passing to the north of you. So if you're in Bassfield or Prentice and you know any of these roads that I'm calling out, please get in your safe spot. Do not be out looking for the tornado. Don't be peeking out your window. These tornadoes are going to be rain wrapped. That means you're not going to be able to see them coming. It might be on you before you even know it. So turn the TV up, whatever you have to do, and get in your safe spot. Time to get out for you here in Tilton around 107. So that is basically there right now. In Goss around 109 and Society Hill around 111. Some of the local roads there, Old River Street is going to be possibly impacted by this. It looks like J.W. Jones Road will be very close to this as well. So we're going to continue tracking this, Alex, when you're talking about the threat tag of catastrophic on here. And again, the cell has already been reported to have done damage. So we want to watch this very closely. You could have a very strong, violent, long track tornado on our hands, which of course was part of the forecast this whole time.
Absolutely, yeah. Keep monitoring that sort of debris signature with this particular storm, and it's still holding together at this moment. So dangerous storm continuing there, and that's just, again, one of many of the dangerous storms that continue here for you. Again, that's the storm Felicia was just talking about there, east of Macomb, but we got more storms northbound here, up closer towards Interstate 20, between Jackson as well as Meridian there in the state of Mississippi. And also north of that, we've got another area here, right around the Kilmichael area, where we do have another tornado warning. This is east of 55 right now for parts of Choctaw, Montgomery, and Webster counties. Till 1:30, you're dealing with a tornado warning. There's the storm itself right there now, just basically east, moving north and east of the Kilmichael area and pushing on off towards the east right now. Let's get in a little bit closer, showing you where the area rotation is showing up best right in there. So north of 82, east of Winona, and pushing off towards the north and east right now. Until 1:30, you're dealing with this tornado warned storm. Heads up there if you are, again, north of 82 and east of 55, as that storm is moving in that general direction. Then we track our way into the eastern part of the state. There's Tupelo, Mississippi right there. And just to your south and east is where we've got just a mess. So this is one of those situations where this is all the rainfall heavy rain. That's part of the problem. We got some flash flood warnings in there too. There's heavy rain in this. So you're not going to see anything. If Felicia talked about not getting out there trying to see anything, this is even a messier situation with all the heavy rain. Visibility is basically you can't see much at all when it's coming down so heavily with the reds on the radar being indicated there. So don't get out, try to see this. Get into your safe zone now. If you're basically just now east of Shannon, heading up towards the Fulton area, that's a zone where you want to make sure you're getting into your safe zone right now. Nettleton, again, just east of Tupelo as well until 1:15, you're under a tornado warning there. A little bit more broad in nature when it comes to the rotation, maybe a little bit in there, a little tougher to see in that general area, but everything again is tracking on off towards the north and the east. Even without the tornado potential, we do have damaging winds are a big risk because this whole area is under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. So not only dealing with the risk for a possible tornado, but also damaging wind gusts that could get in excess of 60 miles per hour. I want to take you back to that tornado emergency, though. The tornado emergency, that warning is still here as we head east of 55. This storm continues, a pretty nasty storm, very heavy rain, probably talking about a lot of hail with this as well. Tracking north and eastbound, and again, still showing signs of some pretty decent rotation with this particular storm that is moving now, again, just north of Columbia. This is for parts of Jefferson Davis County, you're in there. Heads up now as you head towards places like Prentiss and Bassfield. You're kind of next in line to deal with the most dangerous part of this particular storm, which is kind of right in that zone there. That'll continue to move in that direction, hopefully moving between Prentiss and Bassfield, but you got to be prepared for this thing getting into your safe zone now. There's plenty of lead time for this thing's coming towards you. I would get into your safe zone immediately if you can. Again, still showing the signs of rotation with this particular storm. Kind of right now, just passing kind of Ranch Road and pushing on off towards the north and the east at this point. So it is still holding together pretty well right now. There's Ranch Road pushing again north towards the Brenton Drive area. If you're in any of these spots, you know anyone in these spots, let them know that there is a tornado coming into their neck of the woods and they need to get into their safe zone immediately. Where would that be? Low floor, sturdy structure, and away from windows is where you want to be with this dangerous storm. Still showing signs. There it is. This is looking at the debris tracker, so the radar is able to sort of pick out areas that aren't rain or maybe hail. Well, that's a zone that we've been tracking for some time down around the Buckbridge Road area, continuing to track towards the north and the east past the Kearney region and still holding together. So an extremely dangerous storm that continues right now across parts of southern Mississippi, Felicia. Busy times here for us. I mean, really just getting started essentially here when it comes to the severe weather threat through the afternoon and evening.
Yeah, certainly. If you are in any of the other areas where we're suspecting severe weather to break out, so if you are in Alabama right now and you're watching what's happening in Mississippi, this should be your cue to go ahead and figure out what you're going to do to keep yourself safe. Maybe you're waiting to see if the forecast would verify for severe weather. If I were in Alabama, I would be getting ready for these storms very quickly. I would know where my safe spot is. I'd have my flashlights, my shoes, I would have all of that. If you have weekend plans, you know, whatever you're doing for this Saturday or Saturday into the night, I would really just watch this forecast and really consider canceling that. So let's talk about what we're seeing right now. You can see that line of storms that's blasting through Mississippi. We have heavy rain, we have tons of lightning, and of course we have multiple tornado warnings ongoing. Let's get you back to that tornado emergency right now. That is until 1:45 local time, and it is a confirmed tornado. Again, you can see that catastrophic threat tag on it because we are already seeing the indications that this has been a tornado that is on the ground. I mean, just looking at the radar of this tornado without even seeing any other, velocity radar or looking for the debris ball or anything like that, you can tell that this is a formidable storm. So if you're in the cities of Bassfield or Prentiss, you're included in this tornado warning. It has held together very well, and it likely will continue that. You can see our circulation here. That is what we look for on the velocity radar to see if we are getting rotation within a storm. And this one has a very strong indication of circulation. And these storms are moving off to the northeast at 50 to 60 miles per hour. This particular storm is moving off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. Alex just talked about it. You can see it here. It shows up. So there's our debris ball that we're watching. That's around 12:40 local time. You can kind of see how quickly this is moving off to the northeast. They're north of Tylertown and then off to the northeast of Tylertown by 12:55. These storms are moving and they are damaging. We'll be back after the break with the latest warnings.